Welcome back, and today we're talking about Higurashi When They Cry, episode 11. So like always, let's just jump into it. Episode 11 was really all about saving Satoko from her abusive uncle. Now, we still don't know what her uncle is doing, right? We don't know in what way he is abusing her. From what we got last episode, it was like they were not feeding her and her brother. There seems to be some type of physical, abuse as well. But in this episode, right, we still don't know exactly what's going on, right? We just have the other characters kind of saying that it is true that her uncle is abusing Satoko. So it is a huge problem and something that should definitely be taken very, very seriously. So this episode, that was really the whole purpose. Last episode, we see Satoko was having like a huge meltdown. I mean, her mental breakdown was absolutely insane. And honestly, I feel like the teacher or somebody should have stepped up, because that is definitely not normal for a kid to have. And the fact that that did not happen kind of, makes me lose faith on the teacher. But okay, we know now that there is a problem. And even Keiichi, heck, even Shion, I gotta say, I have a little bit of respect for Shion, because she was not having it. And now here's the thing, and here's my theory, right? I feel like Satoko might be very important to the story or to what's going on, because we see that Rika, Shion, they really want to save Satoko for some reason, right? It could be because they do consider her family, like Shion said, but I feel like there's like another motive that we just don't know just yet. So I'm sure that's going to be brought up later on, why they really want to save Satoko, because honestly, from the stuff that we've seen in earlier episodes, right? Like for example, I can't imagine either Shion or Mion being able to like murder people and stuff like that, and all of a sudden they care about Satoko. I could be wrong about this theory could be absolutely crazy, right? But heck, even Rina, I just can't imagine that Rina would actually care enough to save Satoko when we're talking about like her true self, the one that went to murder Keiichi a couple episodes back. So I feel like Rika and Shion, they have like a hidden motive that we just don't know, and that's one of the reasons why they're trying so hard to save Satoko. Now, Shion did say that she wanted to go and get the uncle, beat him up dead, and she was 100% serious. I mean, she even got into a confrontation with Keiichi about this, right? Where she kind of just threw a chair at his face, and he was bleeding. So it was very serious to her. I really want to know what is her motivation in order to save Satoko. Again, I don't think it's just pure family feelings or friendship feelings. I feel like there is a deeper meaning behind it. Now, Keiichi, he came up with a plan to gather, like all the characters, so Rina, Shion, Mion, Rika, and go over to the Shao services and kind of make a case for Satoko, because we know last episode she lied to Shao services once, so now they're not really believing her. So the case is open, they're kind of looking at it, but every time they talk to the uncle, he has like the perfect cover story. And again, we don't know for sure that Satoko's uncle is actually abusing Satoko. So, again, it's a very serious matter, but with how crazy this town is, we really just don't know what is actually happening, right? For all we know, Satoko is turning like demon crazy, and she's the one trying to kill the uncle. We don't know. That's the problem, right? We just don't know what state of mind all these different characters are in. We don't know the truth until we get shown the truth, right? We still have not seen Satoko's uncle's side of the story. We don't know if it's true or not, right? We've only gotten what Satoko and the other characters have said. And for all we know, like I've been saying, they have some type of hidden motive, and we just don't know what that is. But essentially, Keiichi's plan does not work out. And that was kind of messed up, right? Because you would think child services, right? If you have a lot of people come in saying that this child is being abused, you would think they would step up their game. But no, like Keiichi said, all they did was write on a notebook. 5 students came in and they just said that Satoko is being abused. So they're not really taking it as serious as I hope they would. So that's kind of messed up. That's kind of sad. Heck, even when Keiichi went back to the drawing board, right? We see that Rika was able to change Keiichi's mind about fighting harder to save Satoko, right? She started crying. That's when Keiichi came up with another plan to essentially get all the students or all the members of their club to go to child services and kind of like a protest almost, right? Where he would get more people to actually validate Satoko's abusement from her uncle. And that was a very good plan. But again, we do have to talk about Rika, because she was kind of saying whenever all those kids showed up to protect Satoko, tell their story and how Satoko is being abused by her uncle, Rika said something very kind of fishy, right? Kind of suspicious, as you would say. She said that the power to change fate. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know if that's something involving Keiichi or maybe the actions that Keiichi can take. Again, we know there's some type of loop in this world, in this town, and maybe Keiichi is a huge part of it. That's why every time there's a new loop, we get different perspective from different characters, because maybe, you know, Shion, Rina, and Rika are all trying to get Keiichi on their side so they can either have fate on their side or they can actually get an advantage to what their goal actually is. We just don't know, right? We have way too many questions, and I hope we get answers to them fairly soon, because every time something happens, there's a big murder and stuff like that, we just get a million other questions, right? So I really do hope they answer the whole time loop thing that's going on. I really hope they answer the whole Rika thing, saying that fate was being torn apart. I'm guessing that has something to do with Keiichi. And of course, the last bit of the episode, we see that detective Oichi, I believe that was his name, he was walking with a little smile on his face. We don't know what that's all about. Is it a good smile, like he got some good news? Did he do some type of plan to catch somebody? I don't know what that smile was, but again, it did look suspicious in a way. Overall, this episode, it was good. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either, right? Like, yes, I want to know about Satoko and that whole story that they're being told right now, right? With their whole abuse with her uncle. But, you know, I feel like the whole episode should not have taken all of that. I feel like the half of an episode would have been enough, and then they could have moved the story a little bit faster. So, you know, the episode wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. I would say it was pretty good. It was pretty good. But let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode. And like always, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.